that what would I do? Okay. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa. I am here with you to welcome to my Misogynist channel. According with titles, yes, today we are hosting here feminist celebrities in the topic of NEET 2026. And now, well, repeatedly today's feminist celebrity is Sejal Pawar. And here, here we can see this points. We are talking about Indian capitalist, particularly here gender change of employees, both of Reliance, Tata's, and Adani groups, according with the study of whom the study of here Sejal parts. Now, what is my now here is my question that why I am discussing the Sejal parts gender changing agenda on Reliance Group, and now it is she Sejal parts. Well, how can I say that Sejal Power can contains agendas about gender changing on Reliance groups, Tata groups, and Ambani groups? So first of all, let's check it. Who is she? Okay. Okay. Now here we can see here Sejal Powers mentions that she is talking about the she was checking on man's skeleton. She was checking on men's skulls, and now she was smoking on whom man's reproductive products. Okay. Now it is clear that she mentions that she was discussing about man reproductive products, organs. And now it is that means it is clear that she was talking about the gender change. Okay. Now here we can see that is now today's point is about that how we can significant choose the significant moments. Oh my god. Now here we can see the I think uh, and here now let's check it. Let's we can discuss that what is the significant points about Sejal Power's gender changing agenda. Okay. Now accordance with Sejal Power's NEET studies, what is her topic about NEET studies of Sejal Powers? Hence that she becomes the medical students of King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Why she choose King Edward Medical College and hospitals where that hospitals was settled in Mumbai. Sh- uh, sh- uh, Now let's check it the moments. And here now topic is about gender changings as an gender chromosome related NEET 2026. Here, Reliance Industry under Mukesh Ambani. How much employees is approximately? That is 403,000. How much employees working in Tata Groups? That is, as a currently, this is 935,000. How much employees working in Adani Group? That is almost 40,000 increments. That As an highest, let's assume that is 50,000 employees working in Adani groups. And now, here topic is about the sweatings at the moments. Well, now here today's NEET topic is about gender change of three capitalists like Reliance, Tata groups and Adani groups. Now let's check it. Here, first of all, we can check about Nettie Maria Stephens. Here, Nettie Maria Stephens is the women's to be scientist to research about gender chromosomes. She was the first humans to research on gender chromosome, but she could not get any Nobel Prize. Who was the person to get Nobel Prize? That is Thomas Hunt Morgan. Okay. And now, let's come into the points. Well, let's come into the points. What is the significant momentums? Well, and here, now in the previous live stream, we have mentioned that what is the significance of the points. Well, it's for scientists, energy, equipment. Now, okay. Well, and here, now here we can see. Well, here I would mention like the points. Somehow I contains a research where the research topic is how much what is the energies of artificial breast growth, that is there 3.5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules. On the other hand, here what is the energy to convert male reproductive organs to female reproductive organs, that is here almost 1 okay, that is here 5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules. Okay, now and now let's check at the moments. Here the moments is about the Tata Ambanis. Well, and here, well, I don't know why. Okay. Now, okay, here we can see the points. Now let's assume that here total gender changing energy, medical energy equipments requires the energy to be 8 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules or 8.5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules. And now let's check it the points. What is the multiplication between 403 by 8.5? Okay. And here I got the points. And now let's check it. Well, 403,000 multiple by 8.5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules. Well, now here we can see. Well, now for 1 man's the gender changing surgery requires the energy to be 8.5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules. But now, here when the topic is the employees working in Mukesh Reliance Industries under Mukesh Ambani to be here what's to be here 403,000. Hence, the gender changing energy for 403,000 employees working in Reliance industry would be almost 342.55 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 joules. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the study of Sejal powers? Okay. Now here we can see this points here as an options. Effective fuel can what here fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperatures of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius or artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. And now let's check it the moments. Okay. Or the fuel can be petrols. Okay. Now let's check the points. 342.55 E12 and that can divided by what's 100 bracket of 100 multiplied by 0.7778 and now that is the points to be noted. Okay, now let's check it. And now here we can check the points. What about the harder ones? Now here we can see 342.55 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 enter divided by 10,000 multiplied by 1.01. Okay, and now let's check the points. Okay, now accordance with Sejal powers study, here the question is when the gender changing now here we can see this points. Accordance with Sejal powers questions, when gender changing energy requires 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joule per one man's, and here man employees working as 403,000 under Reliance industry. Then here what is how much weight of effective fuel is required? Okay, now here we can see this points. Option A 3.34 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion 666 billion 666,000. I apologize. Option A, that is 3.34 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperatures of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. Option B, artificial 3.34 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactors with the temperatures of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Option C, here 4.5 1 2 3 4 yes 4.5 trillion liters of petrols, and option D is uh, 34 billion liters of harder oils. And now let's check it the moments, and here that is the analysis. Okay, now here we can see this points for one man's here gender changing surgery cost 50,000 United States dollars. And now let's check the points. Well, what is 403 multiplied by 5? That is 2015. I mean 2015. Okay. On the other hand, what is the multiplication between 10 cube and 10 to the power 4? That is 10 to the power 7. Okay. Now it is the points. What is the expenditures? That would be 20 billion 150 million United States dollars would be required to change 403,000 man employees under Reliance Industries genders as to convert them to women employees. And now this is the moments. Here question is, what is the effective fuels for electricity to change their genders? Well, now here we can see this part. Option A is 3.34 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000. Here 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. It is the best effective, it is most effective fuel for the electricity to change their genders. Okay. Now let's take the points option. Now what is the option B? Option B is less effective for 20 billion 150 million United States dollars. Now what is the fuel? That is 3.34 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. It is the less effective for 20 billion 150 million United States dollar to change gender of 403,000 man employees working under Reliance Industry to convert them women. Okay, now let's take the points. What is option C? Okay, option C is 4.5 trillion liters of petrol. That costs here 9 trillion liters of petrol. But sir, here gender changing surgery costs here 20 billion 150 million United States dollars, where purpose is to change the gender of 403,000 man employees working under Reliance Industry under Mukesh Ambani. And now that is the here we can see this, that cost here fuel cost is 9 United States dollars. It is not effective about the surgery cost. Secondly, here in the process of surgery, here double gross domestic product of India would be waste only to change gender of 403,000 man employees under Reliance Industry. Okay. And now let's come into the points about the option 4, option D. What is option D? Here we can see this points 34 billion liters of harder wells. When the 34 billion liters of harder wells is option D. Now, what is 34 billion liters of harder wells? That is here 68 billion United States dollars on harder wells to electricity to change gender of 403,000 men employees under Reliance Industries under Mukesh Ambani. And now here we can see the points. That is the significant points. That is the study of whom? That is study of okay. That is the study of Sejal powers. But unfortunately here, Sejal power gets here 406 out of 720 in NEET exams to get an MBBS seat in King's Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai, just in the base of 117 million Indian rupees successful bribe on NEET invigilators. Okay, now here we can say the concepts. Ninja techniques. Well, now ninja techniques is always applications of ninjas. Well, here is no techniques to be ninja techniques by the normal persons. But when we Indians are audience of Ninja Hattori, and here we can see ninja techniques means here perfect techniques, where in this cases Sejal powers 117 million Indian rupees bribe to get 406 out of 720 is here just like a perfect corruptions to get an MBBS seat. Hence, you can address it as a ninja corruptions. Okay. Now here we can see Raja mentality. No. Raja mentality is here. It is king mentality is not like a corruptions. You are partially wrong. So the king's mentality is not a corruptions. King's mentality is just like how can I learn the highest skill to get an of the MBBS seats in All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Okay, brothers, so why are you deleting your comments? I don't know. Well, what to say about blue film? Okay. Now, oh. Now it is not discuss about the blue film industries, and now let's come into the points. It is the main topic is Sejal powers NEET studies, where topic is gender change of Indian capitalist. Okay, and now let's check it and the moments. In this cases, now let's come into the points. Here, out of 4 options, here one option contains +4 to get an because to be here correct answers, and rest three options contains negative one to be a wrong answers. And in this times, now it is the topics of biological physics. And here, when the topic is about biological physics, this is the significance momentums at the points. Well, and here now let's check it. What is the key stars of Reliance Industries here? Energies. Well, it is the another topic. It is out of NEET 2026. And now let's discuss about the Tata groups. Okay. And now here coming to the points. And here it is the moments Sejal powers the projected teeth here in this points. Accordance with the studies, these types of criminal cases, I mean, this types of an unethical biological physics questions, that would be 20 out of 60 biological physics questions out of 180. Here, NEET exams. What is the spending from Sejal parts? That is 5 million Indian rupee for one question. Now here we can see the 5 million Indian rupee for one question. Hence, what about 60? In this, let's come into the point. For 20 biological physics questions, like to gender change of 403,000 employees working on Mukesh under Mukesh Ambani's. Here, Sejal Park spent here 100 million Indian rupees just to say unethical question like a 20 biological physics questions in the topic about gender change of employees under Reliance Industries. And now that is the significant topics at the point that can be a significant dangerous moment. Okay. And here let's check it. Here we can see 1 million is just to fill in the OMR sheets, and here 5 per one questions, and 5 million is OMR setting the answer questions as the wish of Sejal parts. The bribe would be 5 million Indian rupees. Well, what is 6 multiplied by 20? That is 120 million Indian rupees. Sejal powers provide a bribe to NEET invigilator just to answer the questions of 20 biological physics question that is under wish of Sejal powers. And now that is very discrimination. Now that is the point. Here is the relatable moments that why Sejal powers is cracking the joke of here male reproductive products, because she knows here converting male reproductive products to female reproductive products requires here 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules. And here she knows here artificial female chest growth would be here 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joule per 1 mass. And here, and her agenda is she want to change 403,000 man employees under Reliance Industries gender to convert them to 403,000 women employee under Reliance Industry. And now, what would be the negative effects? That is the different things, but it is would be the another scientific and technological topics, but it would be the purpose would be out of NEET topics. Now coming to the points about NEET topics, and here let's take on. Okay. Now let's check on the Tata groups. Okay. How much Tata groups workings? Here, okay. Now in this cases, Tata groups contains here 935,000 workers. Now when the Tata groups contains 930,000 workers at this times, now let's check it. Well, how much analysis of medical surgeries requires to change the gender of, well, 935,000 man employees under Tata groups to convert them 935,000 women employees? Now let's get the points. Here 935,000 multiple by, okay, 8.5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joules. And now, well, how much energy is required? That is here 794.75 trillion joules. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the options of the energies? Okay. Here option A is harder wells. How much weight of harder wells requires the energies to be 794.75 trillions joules to change the gender of 935,000 man employees under Tata groups. Now let's check at the points about the moments. 75 multiple by 10 to the power 12. Okay, that can be divided by bracket of 10,000 multiple by 1.01. And now let's get the moments. Well, option A is here 78.7 billion liters of harder wells. Now let's discuss about option B. Option B is petrols 794.75 multiple by 10 to the power 12. Okay. Now it can be here divided by bracket of 100 multiple by 0.778. Now let's check it the points. That is here 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 10.3 trillion liters of petrols. Okay. Now let's check it. The option C is artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And option D is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillions, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Now here we can see those points as a calculations. What is the perfect option C and what is the perfect option D? Okay. Now here we can see these points. Okay. That is option C is 7.75 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactors with the temperatures of triple six multiple by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius, and option D is 7.74 multiple by 10 to the power negative triple six trillions, triple six billions, triple six million, triple six thousand, 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of triple six multiple by 10 to the power triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, triple six degrees Celsius. And now that is the significant waste at the moment. Now let's take it to points. Okay. Now one man employs under here Tata Group's gender change requires 50,000 United States dollars. And now let's go 935,000 multiplied by 50,000. Okay. Now let's take it. Well, what's going on? That is here. Okay, now 46 balance here 750 million United States dollars is required to change the gender of 935,000 man employees under Tata Groups to convert them into 935,000 women employees under Tata Groups. Okay. Now let's discuss about option C and option D. In that case, here option D is here most effective fuels of here 7.75 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, triple six degrees Celsius. And now it is the significant points. Now it is the cost-effective fuels, most cost-effective fuels. Now what is the least cost-effective fuels here? That is 7.75 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 659 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now here discussion is option C and option D. Okay. Now let's discuss about option A. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Option A's discussion we can see here it is almost 79 billion liters of hot oil. Well, 1 billion liters of hot oil would cost here 2 United States dollars. What is 79 multiplied by 2? Well, that is 158. That means 158 billion United States dollars would be spent on harder work to change the gender of 935,000 hence man or girls in Tata group to convert them 935,000 women or girls under Tata groups. That is the significant purpose of the gender change at the moment. Now, what is the option B? Option B is 10.3 trillion liter of petrol that costs 20.6 trillion United States dollars. But now, let's check it here. Okay, 20.6 divided by 4.25. Okay. Now, what is gross domestic products of India? That is 5.25 trillion United States dollars. That means, well, here option B cost here to destroy 4.85 times gross domestic product of India to spend on 10.3 trillion liters of petrol to change 935,000 man employees gender under Tata Group to convert them here 935,000 women employees under Tata Groups. And now that is the significant destructions at the moment. It is the significant agendas of Sejal Pawar. Now, here we can see four options about the four options. One option contains positive 4, that is option D. And here, rest of three options contains negative 1 because to be wrong answers. But now, Sejal Pawar choose always here option C. I apologize. Sejal Pawar choose always option B, that is 10.3 trillion liters of petrol, and she would get 4 marks under the bribe of 120 million Indian rupees to NEET invigilator to get seat of 406 MBBS seats in the base of 406 out of 720. Okay. Now, in this cases, here is the momentums at the points, and this cost here second 20 biological out of 60 biological physics questions out of 180 questions in NEET, where Sejal Pawar would be students. And now that is the dangerous parts. Now it is the relatables that why Sejal Pawar was cracking the joke against the innocent man's reproductive products. Now it is the two dangerous moments at the points. Okay. And now let's check at the moments. I think here we would see these moments. Okay. Now here we can see this. Well, someone states that it's not you, it's me. I don't know why. I think we have to refresh it. Okay. Well, now here we can see in these cases, now reality is too dangerous as we can notify. Well, now Question papers, one question paper set as an wish of whom Sejal, Sejal Pawars that cost here 50 lakhs Indian rupees per aspirant. I mean 5 million Indian rupees per one question per aspirants. Here, filling OMR sheets cost 1 million Indian rupees per aspirants. Here in okay, now doctors and insiders, I mean NEET 2026 here promoting mark boosting it would recurs 8.75 million Indian rupees. And now here we can see these levels of the corruptions. Here it can be probable here Sejal, both of Sejal parts and NEET invigilators and somehow here King's Edward Medical Hospitals would be partially involved. And here we can see this points. Here 40 biological questions recurs words. Here 5 plus one, some by 1, some by 9. That is here 600 millions. Uh, Here we could see that is the moments. Oh, okay. Now we can see it requires 600 millions Indian rupees is required to set the answer 240 marks out of 60 biological physics questions as an wish. 40 biological physics question would be the wish of Sejal Pawars in NEET 2024. And it is the significant moments. What is the meaning of 600 million Indian rupees? That is here 60 crore Indian rupees. Okay. Now, now when Sejal Pawar can spend 600 million Indian rupees is to crack 240 out of 720. Okay. Then here it would better for Sejal Pawar that she would get admissions of the private medical college in 2026. But now, here is the problem. Now here we can see, here is a doubt about the several private medical colleges of India. When the one of the private medical college of India contains a cost about the terrorism of Delhi attacks. Now, this 10 seconds is dedicated for another live stream, 1 hour live stream in the categories of geopolitics. And now, today's live stream is complete science and technologies. And now, let's check the moments why the probably King's Edward's Medical Hospitals supports Sejal Pawars in the cost of 600 million Indian rupees break with the assistance of NEET invigilators. That is here the first two industries like Reliance Industries and Tata Groups I have mentioned at the moment. And now, well, let's check out the points. What is 406 subtracted by 240? That is 206 subtracted by 40. That is here 146. Now, here we can see these points. One now the rest of discussion is unclear about 146. That would be here 60. That would be the next, last 20 out of 60 biological physics question as a wish of Sejal powers. Okay, now let's check the moments. Here we can see the significant points to be notified. The second point is about the Adani groups that contains almost 40,000 plus man employees in working in Adani groups. That can be here almost 50,000. It is the, let's assume the 50,000. Now let's check it. We know the 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules is the required energy to change the gender of one man's. Now here let's check it. For 50,000 man employees under Adani groups, how much energy is required to change the genders? Okay. Now let's check it the moments. Well, here 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. And here we could see this is the moments. Now, well, it is almost here 1, 2, 3, 42.5 trillions. Okay. Now it used to be 42.5 trillions. I think I miscalculate. 1, 2. Now here we can see these points. Well, 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 and multiplied by 50,000. Okay. Now here we can see it requires at least here 42.5 trillion joules. Okay. Now let's check it. Well, 42.5 trillion joules requires that effective force. What is the effective force? Let's discuss about the moments. Well, option A, that is here artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Option B is harder wells. Option C is artificial solar arc reactor with a 10 to the power 666 multiplied by 666 10 to the power 666 trillions, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. And now let's check it. And option D is petrols. Now here we can see the points coming to the points. Here we could notify us about as in calculations. Here we can see option A is probably 4.15 multiplied by 10 to the power 660 of I apologize 4.15 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 660 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And option C is 4.15 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 660 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of Here triple six multiple by 10 to the power triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, triple six degrees Celsius. And now here we can see this the points. Well, here the cos is here 25 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. That means 2.5 billion United States dollar as a cost. Okay. Now here you can see the points, and here option C is most effective and option A is less effective. Here out of 4 options, here option A cost negative 1, but it is still scientific. Option C is scientific and the correct answer, hence option C contains positive 4. Okay. Now here we can state the points. What is the moment of option B and option D? Option B is harder vowels. Here 42.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 divided by bracket of 10,000 multiplied by 1.01. Now here we can see that is here 4.3 billion liters of harder vowels. Okay, it is option B. And now what is option D? Here calculations is 42.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 joules divided by bracket of 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of petrols multiplied by 50 degrees Celsius as a highest temperature difference multiplied by 0.778 joule per kilogram per Kelvin kilogram per liters as an density of petrols. And now let's check it what's going on. That is 547 billion liters of petrols. Okay. Now here we can see this is the points to be notified. Here it is requires the now here we can see both of option B and option D contains here negative 1 marks. Now what is this? Let's try again the moments. Well, here gender change cost here 2.5 billion United States dollars, but however measurement is here 4.3 billion liters of petrol. That costs 8.6 billion liters, United States dollars. That is here almost 3 times more than but that is almost 3 times more than the gender changing surgeries. Okay. Now what about the option D? Here the measurement is 547 billion liters of petrol. Now let's check it. When 1 liter petrol costs 2 United States dollars, that what is cost of 546 liters of petrol? Here 1000 sum by bracket of 40 multiplied by 2 bracket sum by 12. Here 1000 sum by 80 sum by 12. That is here 1092. Okay. Now it requires almost 1 trillion 92 billion United States dollars on 547 well the length letters of petrols. Okay, and now what is that? That is here almost 20% of gross domestic products of India. Okay, now let's take the moments. Here correct answer is option C, but Sejal Pawar would choose option D, and uh, she would get here 4 marks. Because what is the cause of that? Because here in the 20 out of 60 biological physics question related to gender change of RNA groups, that is the significant clear-cut points. Okay, and here that would be the significant momentums at the dangerous points. Well, 15 multiplied by 20, that is almost 300 millions in India's rupees would be bribed from Sejal Pass to NEET invigilators and here King Edward's Medical Hospitals. Now here we can see King Edward's Medical Hospital. Hence, it is the points that she contains totally 60 wrong answers out of 60 biological physics questions under the wish of Sejal Powers in 180 questions in NEET 2024. And still, she can get here 360. Okay. Now it is still she can get here 240s out of here 720s as her questions at the points. And now that is the still dangerous moments. Okay. Now here we can see there is the moments comes at the points. Well, now biological chemistry can be the out of the gender change, but now it would later to discuss. But now here we can see the momentums here 420 is now here coming to the points about 60 biological mathematics. Okay. Now here we can see those points 60 biological mathematics and sometimes well what is the moments? Here is reliance group. It is the points coming to the points about reliance groups. Okay. Now here we can see these points about momentums. After gender change, here the 403,000 gender change women's employees under Reliance Industry isn't biological fathers of her child when their wives is still a biological mothers. And in this points, here we can see those moments. Each of one gender change new women's employees contains here 25 artificial Y sperm and here 75 natural 65 artificial X sperm when their each wife contains 100 natural ovums. Now here we can see what is the gender predictions of where of enters 403,000 new women to be biological fathers. And now that is the moments about the points. Okay. Now 65 artificial eggs sperm and 25 artificial sperm. What is the cost? That is here 90 artificial sperms. Okay. Now here we can see this moments. Now here is the significant terms as we could see. Let's check it. One gender change new women's contains here 90 artificial sperms. Now what about the here 403,000 gender change new women's contains the sperm? That is almost 36,270,000 artificial sperms from 403,000 gender change transgender women. Okay. Now let's check at the moments at the points. What is the predictions at here 25. Now let's check it. 100 multiple by well 25 multiple by here 403,000 okay, divided by 90 multiple by 403,000. Okay. Now here we can see these points. Well, now here now here I can see this is the significant points or to be notified. Well, 25 divided by 90. Well, that would be here 27% child would be boy, and here 100 subtract by 27. 27, that would be 73% child would be daughters. Now let's check it. What is 27%? That is 0.27. Here now here we can see 0.27 multiple by 90 multiple by 403,000, and here we can see the points 10,580,300 child would be baby boys, still baby boys, and here on the other hand here 0.73 multiple by 90 multiple by 403,000, and in the terms well 26,477,000 boys 1,000 childs would be daughters, because here would be why this is the artificial sperm of 403,000 biological man employees under Reliance industry, because they are now in gender changing transgender women. That is the plans under Sejal parts. And in these cases, well, Here, what would be the effort of 10 millions 150,300 boys gender chance? What would be the cost? And here now here we can see these points. Well, 8.5 multiple by 5 multiple by 10 to the power 8, and here multiple by 10,518,300 baby son of here 403,000 transgender women to be biological fathers, and baby boys gender change recurs almost here 8 quadrillions 940 trillions triple five billions here joules. Now what is the cost to be needed at the moment? Now here we can see these points. Well, accordance with Sejal powers, she would recurs a petrols, but now as in recurs of artificial solar arc reactors with the temperatures of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. What is the significant moments? And as an how much weight is required? That would be here. Okay. Now in these cases, that would be 8.72 multiple by 10 to the power negative here 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,658 artificial solar arc reactors with a temperature of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,666 degrees Celsius. And now what is the chosen options for gender changing as a biological mathematicals for biological genetics questions? And in these times, well, 890. Okay, now here we can see 8,940,555 multiple by 10 to the power 9. Okay, that can divided by bracket of 100 multiple by 0.778. And now what would be the cost? 1 2 3 4, that is almost 115 trillions liters of petrol. That means here 230 trillions per United States dollars of 115 liters of petrol to change the genders of 10,518,300 son of 403,000 biological father to be gender changing women employees under Reliance Industries, and that is the NEET study of Sejal Pawar. Okay, and now now the same mathematics of here 25 artificial eggs sperm. 25 artificial Y sperm and 65 artificial X sperm and 100 natural ovums. Then what is the significant momentums at the points? What is child predictions of 935,000 employees to be biological father to be transgender women under Tata Group. Now here we can see that is the significant moments. Well, now 0.27 multiplied by 9 t multiplied by 935 thousands, and now that would cause here and here it recurs here 22,720,500 child would be son of 935,000 transgender women's employees. I mean here gender changing women employees under Tata groups where 935 gender changing women employees is biological father. Okay, now let's check at the points. And here Sejal Pawar's study is they have to change the gender of 22,720,500 son of 935,000 gender change women employees under Tata groups. Here baby son, all of baby sons gender would be changed under the wish of Sejal Pawar. And now in these cases she choose here King Edward Medical Hospitals. Okay, now let's check it. And now okay, how much energy is required? 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. That would be required by approximately here okay 19 quadrillions 312 trillions 425 billions joules. Okay, now it is when the now the point is when fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, then what would be the measurement of weights? Now let's check it. 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as an specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperatures of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, and here multiplied by temperatures. Now it would be here 1.89 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 657 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactors with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But what is the choose of the now what is here? Here we could see at the moments I would take a rest. What would be here records of fuels? Now she chooses petrols, and in these cases, well, I think we are going to hear biological engineering. Now 19,312 425 E7 divided by words and 0.778, and now One, one, two, three, four. It would require almost 250 trillion liters of petrol. That what is the cost of that? That is here 500 trillion United States dollars. Now we can see this. It is the 100 times of gross domestic products of India. That means here Sejal Powers is ready to destroy 100 times gross domestic products of India to change the genders of here 22 million 720,500 son of 935,000 gender change women to be employees under Tata groups. Okay. Now here we can see that is the 40. Now she covers the 40 questions. Now let me take a breath here. She covers almost 40 questions. Hence here out of 60 biological mathematical questions. Now here is 60, here is 40. She can get here hundreds. Well, here her 400 marks is secures under 1.5 billion Indian rupees. I mean here 150 crore Indian rupees of successful bribe her 40 biological questions to be here 60 biological physics question and 40 biological mathematical question is secures at the moment. And in this, it is the discussion of the corruption that what is the study of Sejal powers in NEET exams and then she could be a corrupt MBBS student in King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai, and now she cracks jokes on she cracks and disgusting jokes on what she cracks and disgusting jokes on the innocent male reproductive products because according with Sejal Power studies we have to change 22,720,500 son and sons gender and 935 fathers genders where 935,000 fathers genders where 935,000 father was man employees of Tata groups before the gender change, and now that is the study of whom that was the study of sexual parts, and that is the point that why sexual parts was working on men's reproductive organs, and that is the discussing points. And here is my questions that why Sejal powers my question is why is Sejal powers license is not cancelled? Why is not Sejal powers designation to be MBBS student terminated? And that is my question to the Honorable Indian Health Ministry and Indian Educational Ministry. where Sejal Pawar is a hardcore criminal at the all times. Okay, now see you then. Khuda. Love you. I think I lost my 90% views of the 30 views, and here I am feeling very sorrow because here it was just a frustrating moment that we could see the existence of Sejal Pass to be an MBBS student. Now see you then. Khuda. Love you at the once.